So we're talking about, well, we have no real idea today on certain point of view. We're just kind of going to go wherever the road leads us on today's certain point of view. Welcome to Certain Point of View, our Sometimes Star Wars podcast. I'm Addy Thomas.
And I'm Ben Milton.
And we are, well, we're just kind of going wherever the wind really leads us.
Well, there's
today.
a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, there's just personally in both of our lives, there's just a lot happening.
There is. We're at a really important, like, not a crossroads, but we're on the beginning of a particular path right now that we're just like, we need to get everything in order, just right, plan it out and execute it just right. Yeah. And of course, we have all the regular mess in our lives.
Right.
Is on top of that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, not only that I have the regular mess in my life, like I've had some extra mess in my life.
That's true, you have.
Too.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy for you the last
My
couple
mom
weeks.
has been banged up bad. Like she hurt herself. She was sleeping and she just woke up in incredible pain. Now I'm familiar with this because this happened to me about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Where I was just sleeping and all of a sudden my knee it's like somebody shot me in the leg and I was just like, "Oh my god, it hurt." I thought I popped a ligament. Went into the hospital, did the MRI, everything checked out. And they were like, "Yeah, you got some arthritis in your leg. It's going to hurt. Stop being a sissy."
Yeah.
Well, same thing for her, except for like her arthritis now is so bad that it's bone on bone grinding on her kneecap.
Ugh.
Incredibly painful for her. So she's been pretty much immobile. So I've been having to take her to doctor's appointments. I've been having to get her around. On top of that, then, while this is all happening, the pickup truck that we have has been like just dying.
Yeah.
Like it is on its last leg.
I saw you guys got a sexy new car out there.
Yeah, so this weekend I finally had enough time to go to a dealership and haggle over prices and be a grown-up and act like an adult and buy a new vehicle for my wife so that she can go to work every day without fear of it either falling apart or just leaving her stranded somewhere.
This isn't a knock on Chevys, but it's weird calling a Chevy sexy. I just have to realize.
Dude, that Equinox is sweet, man.
It does look good.
I didn't think I'd dig it as much as I did, but when I drove it home from the dealer.
Oh, I bet.
Because I drove it home from Laurel.
So you ended up going crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I did. I wanted to, because she said she wanted to have another SUV. Like we have a Yukon XL with the third row seat, and that's so that my kids, special needs kids, can sit in two separate rows.
Yeah, you got space. Yeah,
got tons of space. We can bring my mom along with us when we travel. It's not efficient, but it's big.
Right.
Right. And so my wife needed something a little more efficient, and so this was sort of the compromise of like, well, she didn't want a car. But she also didn't want a full-size truck, too.
Yeah.
She's only 5'2".
Yeah.
Like, Jenny behind the wheel of the Yukon is one of the funniest things you'll ever see. It's like a child driving a car. Where she's looking underneath the steering wheel through to the road. It's hilarious. So, like, my weekend was packed full, like, and then I had other stuff going on, too, and so like we've all, and I know you've got personal stuff going on. It's been crazy. It's been crazy, and I'm super excited. I'm super pumped about our new venture that we're going to be launching here.
Yeah, and we also got some new podcasts on the way too.
Oh, you know what else I did?
Yeah.
As an adult, because that's what people do. We went and looked at a new house.
Yeah.
We've decided that we're going to try and get a new house this year, and there's a house. Not pretty far from here, honestly, down in Bowie, which is about 45 minutes from where we are now. Yeah. But it's beautiful. It's this great house. It sits up on top of a hill.
Oh, nice.
So you got this long, winding driveway.
Yeah.
And then it's got a koi pond in the front yard.
Oh,
it sits in the woods. It's on 2 acres of land, which is almost impossible to find in DC.
Of course,
2 acres of land, wooded.
You're making me want to come out to Bowie, too.
It's got a jacuzzi. It's got a sauna.
Yeah.
It's got a multi-level deck in the back, like 3-level deck in the back with all sorts of different things. It's got a 2-car garage and then a room up above the garage, which is going to make, if we do buy it, would make a perfect studio for me.
Yeah.
Because it's odd-shaped, so the room is super flat.
Right.
So you don't get any noise bouncing around and stuff like that. And it's separate from the rest of the house.
Well, it's funny because that's one of the things I've been, because one of my favorite things to do is just browse Zillow. Like right now, there's a lot, most houses are out well out of my reach right now. I got a lot of fixes to my finances to do to really even get a condo at this point.
Right.
And I'd like to have a condo just to have something that's like no maintenance.
Yeah.
But I also want to get something for my mom as well, and I'd probably have some space for myself there too. But I've been looking at detached garages so much, especially ones that have like a second story.
Yeah.
And like you're right, like having that like
that little space up above
would be amazing.
It's amazing. And
forget a basement studio. Like that is so much more.
Yeah.
So much more awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't think I would be into it until we actually started looking, like got there and looked in the house and stuff like that. It's right across the street, like from friends of ours
who
live in that neighborhood.
Nice.
So we'd have some friends in the neighborhood and stuff. So, we got to talk money and
of course
put in a bid and all that stuff, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so at some point here, either this year, probably late this year, we'll really probably get serious about moving. But yeah, I mean, it's been adulting 101.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been like adulting 504. It's been pretty intense this whole weekend. It's been great. And so, like, when you came today, I was actually, like, thinking, I was like, I'm so excited Addy's coming over tonight. We can do this because it's such a great break from all the reality that I've been dealing with lately.
Yeah.
I was actually really pumped to be able to, sit down and play tonight.
Yeah, that does sound good. I kind of I was half considering like, what if we just because we've also been talking about Twitch streaming and all that, and we'll get through some of our business stuff in a moment. But I was half thinking about like, hey, maybe I should just bring the Switch down here and let's play Super Mario Brothers Deluxe while we're podcasting this episode.
I mean,
yeah, we could have, but I'm too lazy right now to do the setup.
Even set it up to plug in the HDMI cable.
All it is plugging in HDMI and power cable. But I'm just like,
which are literally like I couldn't possibly make
They're
it
as close
any
as possible in this setup too. But I'm just like, no.
Because I got an HDMI switch box, so you have all your input. You
it's
just,
right
just
there.
plug it right in next to the power. It's
I know.
hilarious.
I've been looking at like, all right, like I want to buy another dock just to have it, keep it here,
right.
so I can just come and just drop my Switch right in. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I've been eyeing them up, man.
Yeah.
Been eyeing them up.
Well, you're looking at buying a Switch altogether.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I have been. Yeah.
So apparently, and actually, we'll get to this news in a second because this will be perfect for our like wherever the wind blows episode. But I do want to remind you that we are part of the certain point of view family of podcasts, and you can check out a number of podcasts. I was actually just listening to the most recent episode of Screen Snark.
Yeah.
And they talked about a couple different movies with Rachel and Matt had their guest started D'Artagnan or D or what they had him on and they talked let's see what all did they talk? They talked John Carter. It was the My Little Pony movie. Or My Little Pony, right?
I tell you this right now, My Little Pony was a better movie than John Carter. Tell you that
probably
right now.
Probably. I'm not a brony, and there's no shame in anyone being a brony.
No. My Little Pony's dope, man.
And
me and Nathan used to watch that all the time.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's a fun show.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. And Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, okay.
And it devolved into a conversation about the MCU, even though none of those movies were MCU movies. But it just devolved into that. And I had fun listening to them talking about the MCU. Like that's just one of those things. Like it's funny. Like I feel like whenever you get in a conversation about the MCU, like even a single MCU movie, the whole thing comes up. And I think that's just a testament to this whole thing feeling, it's really like each movie is an episode in a TV show, really.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job of actually making it feel connected.
Yeah.
Like I know that was the big tagline when they first started and just broke a lot of hearts because it wasn't really.
Yeah.
But like the whole everyth's connected
idea. It didn't cross over into the TV shows that Jeff Loeb's in charge of, sadly. But, I've gotten over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've moved on.
Yeah. It would have been nice, but it is what it is. But you can check out Screen Snark along with plenty of other shows on our website, certainpov.com. So speaking of what was I?
MCU.
No, we were
I have
talking.
a question for you.
The Switch.
Yeah, the Switch. Go ahead.
So apparently they're going to be the rumor is there are going to be two new versions of the Switch to be released. One that's more of a higher performing console to kind of go toe-to-toe with Xbox and PlayStation, but one that's even more inclined to being portable. So I'm not sure where that leaves the current version of the Switch.
The one that nobody wants.
Hey, I'm fine. I'm fine with the in between.
Right.
Like, I don't need the most groundbreaking graphics. I play World of Warcraft. Like, clearly, I'm not like in it for.
You're not in it for the graphics.
Yeah. I played some of Battlefront 2, the current Star Wars Battlefront, and it's cool. It looks great, but like, I like gameplay is more important to me than graphics at the end of the day.
Right.
And as long as I'm having enjoyable gameplay, and it was fun. I should play more of Battlefront 2. I spent money on it. I probably should at least play the campaign.
I've looked at it several times and went, nah.
We'll just download it onto your computer for my license.
I'm not going to play it. I bought Overwatch and I don't play it.
Yeah, no, that's something we need to remedy. So.
I know. I'd like to learn. I really would. I think I'd really enjoy it. I saw Skyrim is on sale on Steam today, and I was just like, maybe I'll get that. That would be a nice change of pace.
Yeah, that might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
That might be different.
I was watching, speaking of Master, I was watching him stream it. I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, he was streaming, walking through it, and I was like, yeah, this game is actually really cool. Like, I see what the hype is about.
Yeah.
Like, it's so highly revered, and I kind of do want to check it out.
Yeah.
So I may.
Seems worth it.
Yeah,
so.
It's still a little more than I want to pay for that game, even on sale.
Yeah.
It was still like $20, which doesn't sound like much.
Yeah, but $20
like,
is you can. Yeah, I feel like you can get it cheaper.
I can get the $10 transmog toy off of the Blizzard store for WoW, and still have $10 for Taco Bell.
I considered buying it today.
Oh, I didn't consider buying it. I'm going to buy it.
I was super jealous, by the way. It annoys me sometimes. So we have our Discord community where we talk. All of our podcasts are there, and we're chatting it up. And it always annoys me when I'm at work and I look up in the upper right hand corner of the Discord like roster of who all's online, and I see Ben Milton playing World of Warcraft. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Because I was really aching for it today. I almost pulled my laptop out while I was at work. I got busy enough at work that it did. I couldn't.
I was only on for 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes more than I would have been on.
Yeah. And it was good. It was a good 10 minutes. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was going to log on last night after I finished recording 2 episodes with Hans, but at that point I was just so tired. I knew I was going to go in and just like run into a wall. For we
eventually had a full 5-man group to run Mythics last night. J Mike finally came on. He came late, but we had to, because we pugged one guy.
Yeah.
And went through Mythic, and we beat every timer that we think we ran 3 Mythics last night and beat all 3 timers. So
I'm so jealous of you guys.
Feels good.
Because I was all about the Mythics early in this expansion.
I know. Yeah. I wish you would play.
I just missed our timing just wasn't right.
I know.
So
we got to figure that out. Because we're gonna have extra players here because we have listeners of the show.
Yeah.
We got Colin and who else is joining? Oh, John.
Yeah, that's right. John.
Who are leveling right now.
Yeah.
And they're almost Colin's almost max level.
Yeah, John's got
a little way to go, but he's been working back at it. He took some time off. He had an injury, had to rehab himself. So he's feeling better, looking better, and so we'll have 2 more players plus you, 3. And then we have my friend from high school, Wendy, and her husband, Lyndon.
Right.
That's another 5-man group. That's a full 10-man group.
Yeah, that's a raid group, right?
That's a raid group.
Yeah.
So we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
We got to figure it out because Colin's priest. He's going to play healer.
Nice.
So we'll have heals in place. We just need an off tank.
Yeah.
Which bears are great tanks.
It's so funny. Like now I've been pushed from my healing slot into. Are you secretly telling me I wasn't a good healer?
No, actually, you're an excellent healer. You're an excellent healer.
I love healing,
but now that I'm healing, like I'm like
you're back in the rhythm. Yeah.
I'm not good again. I'm still not good.
Yeah.
Like I still struggle.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of shits in my.
I think it takes a while to get back in the swing of it, though.
Yeah, and we're only doing it once a week.
Yeah, and that's not excellent practice.
I
think running into Battlegrounds is going to be your practice more than anything else.
I think it's not because what I need to. I honestly don't play regularly enough right now. Like I'm playing seriously 2 days a week.
Yeah,
I I play Sunday night when with that
Sunday and Wednesdays.
yeah, and then Wednesday I stream both of those, and then the rest of the week like I fit it in here and there because I got so much going on.
Right, so
I'm
it's usually a quest or something.
Yeah, and I'm leveling some alts and stuff like that
Right.
just because I don't like to pug.
Yeah.
So
no, I understand. I get it.
So especially as a healer, I don't like to pug because I'm just like I don't need the grief.
Right.
You know? So.
Yeah, I find it's easier for me to pug as a healer than it ever was as a tank.
Tanking's miserable.
Yeah,
tanking is miserable.
As much as you get those insta-Qs, I just don't want to deal with idiots.
Yeah.
There's
a reason you get those insta-Qs.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody wants to do
you gotta put up with them. Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
But it was it was fun coming back to tanking because it's been a while, and I know I wasn't like there was certain mechanics I was missing and stuff like that. But man, it's fun. Like it scratches an itch for me. It's weird because I'm not running the damage stuff anymore, and like I feel I'm also a really good DPS too. But,
yeah, you're a really well balanced player.
Yeah,
you're a really well balanced player.
Yeah, it's just weird though because I like. I guess I just like the tank and heal rolls for some reason. Yeah.
But I think when you start talking about like doing mythics or doing PvP seriously, like you end up just like locking into a spec.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And you gotta like build because I am one of those people who does specialize and like I want to build every little thing, like every piece, like every point of secondary stats. I'm thinking about like optimizing for the spec. I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
So. Because I got deep into that with my Moonkin. I remember back in the day.
You go crazy with Azurite.
Yeah.
The Azurite armor features are...
Well, especially because it can be situational. Like, I could have a chess piece that's right for one fight, but by the next fight in that same dungeon, I'll be like, okay, I got to switch it out, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, that Azurite drives me nuts still, a little bit. Not as much, but like there have been times where I've actually built it more generally. Like I actually for a while I carried a heal set and sort of a general DPS / tank set. So it wasn't optimized for tanking, but because it was still damage oriented, it wasn't being wasted. Yeah, right. But it was still not like I was like, this doesn't. I know this is not the right thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, and that would matter if you were doing like +5, +6 keys.
Yeah, that's true.
Up until then, you can get away with a lot of stuff, but it's fun. Like I like the Azurite. I think it's fun because it's fun.
I think the features are very interesting.
Yeah,
I like the wrinkles.
Makes it really, it just makes your playstyle just a little more interesting.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that being glyphs again rather than being tied to specific armor pieces. That's where because already, you can get because I'm a druid already. I have four specs, and I'm the kind of person who likes to be able to.
So you got to get 28 pieces of armor.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm just carrying that gear everywhere, and it's just like, I don't need. But here's the thing: I've not fallen into that with this expansion. I'm not doing a lot of the things I've characteristically done in past WoW expansions, like being the achieve horde that I was. Like I've not really chased any achieves, to be honest.
Once I got exalted with everybody,
it
really fell off for me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Then I was like, okay. That's cool. Yeah. I've seen all the dungeons. I've done all of the content. I maybe haven't done it on the highest level or the hardest challenge, but I've seen everything in this expansion.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels good. And I'm loving it. Like this, I like this expansion more than I like Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have so many great
great memories. Yeah, so many great memories.
But you're right. This expansion has been a lot of fun.
It's been fantastic. You actually
and I like the group of people that we're running with a lot.
Yeah, our guild is amazing. Yeah. Our guild is so much fun.
Yeah, someone messaged me today. It's like, hey, you guys interested in picking Guild Wars 2 back up? And I was like, I'll pass this time because I'm having so much fun in WoW and the guild is active, so I'm going to stick with it.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
We're having so much fun. So I think I think this is the best expansion. I think this is probably their best expansion. I think this is better than Legion. I think this is better than Lich King.
Yeah.
And the others are a distant third and fourth for me.
Right.
Fifth. Oh God, I'm going through Oh, which expansion is it? What came after Panda?
Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, I'm going through Draenor.
That's a rough one.
Oh.
That's a really rough one.
Oh. It's the only expansion I don't have flying in.
Yo, yeah, no. See, I have done that because that helps that expansion go very quick. Because I've got that expansion down to a science. Actually, like the moment I can leave the first zone, I do, and I try to get to Spires of Iraq as soon as possible, which is like the third or fourth zone.
Okay.
But the earliest I can, because what happens is there is like, you know how there's zone bonuses you get by certain, like there's a capital town.
Yeah.
And you can have a bonus that's available, like you can summon a garrison to help you or something.
Right.
You know, the bonus for Spires of Iraq is an XP bonus.
Oh.
So I always enable that, and I do every damn quest in Spires of Iraq, so that
you can get out of it as quickly as
exactly.
possible.
So it's just I do all the bonus ones. I do all the the zone quests and everything. You know, I max it to what I possibly can. So Spires of Iraq, it's not even like the best storytelling or anything, but it's just I just want to get it and I just want to get out. So I just try to get to Spires of Iraq as soon as possible and make it possible for me to to do that and get out.
That makes sense. I'll have to look at that because I'm using Azeroth Autopilot to do the quick questing.
Sure.
And it's been a breeze up until this point because
Yeah.
I've had flying in every zone. And it's telling me which quests to pick up.
I think if you anticipate you're gonna have more alts,
I'm gonna have to work through flying. On
it's
this,
worth
because
getting
it has
flying.
just been a stop sign.
Yeah,
as soon as I got here, I was like, and there we go.
Because it'll make such a difference in
Yeah,
those zones.
I can see it because Azeroth Autopilot is assuming I have flying,
Of course.
and it's flying me all over the place to pick up these stupid treasures.
Yep. Oh yeah, because those give you,
and those are like way up. Like some of them are like up high, and I don't know until I get there whether or not I can actually get to this thing.
Yes, that's
and
right.
I'm like, no, skip that one.
Yeah.
Go to the next one. So I had to do some creative playing.
I don't even remember what all the requirements for that one were.
I'm sure I'll look it up.
I don't know if it was rep necessarily, but here's the thing: once the Warlords of Draenor Time Walking comes out, get those rep tokens. It may be worth it.
I'll look and see what's required.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like that expansion.
Yeah. Oh, so you were gonna ask me what we were talking about the MCU a little bit earlier. You were gonna ask me something.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll bring that back and actually execute on it when they go to Disney TV?
So, I don't think they're gonna bring that marketing back, but because that wasn't the MCU marketing. That wasn't coming from Feige's side. That was coming from Jeff Loeb's side.
Okay.
So that was their marketing for the TV. So I don't think they'll ever market on that basis ever again. But are the MCU series going to be connected? Absolutely, because they're under Feige's oversight. The Loki series and Scarlet Witch and the Falcon and Bucky, buddy cop series. Like, I think all of those absolutely will be connected. But when you're talking about the animated stuff that's going on Hulu soon, and none of that's going to be connected.
You're right.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
The animated stuff not being connected makes sense to me.
Yeah. But I won't be surprised if they use connections from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or, the Netflix stuff, if they, refer to it and stuff like that. I kind of see those as still existing in the other Marvel TV properties, Cloak and Dagger, Runaways, all that stuff. I think all of that still is its own universe.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think so, too. I think that's a good point. Yeah. So, I saw big news announced last week.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen coming to Star Wars Celebration this year.
Yep. He is on a long list of a lot of people coming.
He is. Yeah. There are a lot of people coming. This is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Do you think it signals anything for Episode 9, or do you think it's just Hayden's, the wounds have healed from everybody, and he's coming back?
Well, so they're celebrating, is it the 20-year anniversary for Phantom Menace, even though he's not in it. there is a little bit of celebration of the prequels that's been kind of going on with a lot of Star Wars marketing right now. So I think that's a big part of it. It is bringing him in. Like the dude who played Captain Panaka is going to be there too.
Right.
Ahmed Best is going to be there.
That's great.
Yeah. So like there's a lot. I think it's more about celebrating the prequels more than just than that. That being said, though, J.J. Abrams has also said that he does feel that there's going to be like he said quite a while ago that there's going to be sort of a full circle completion with Episode 9 that ties back into the prequels and everything as well. So
do you feel that there's a chance then for Hayden to be in Episode 9?
Yeah, I think there's a chance, but and there like that rumor was. Like, there was a rumor that it was going to happen in Last Jedi as well.
And in 7.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Like, that there was that concept art of, like, the Vader and Anakin sort of...
Duality.
Yeah, duality Force Ghost. So, I mean, it seems like that like, like, people have all responded very positively to that idea. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they said, yeah, let's work that in somehow.
Yeah.
Does that... I mean, I know we're expecting Mark Hamill Force Ghost. Who else needs to be part of that? I don't know. Like, are we going to get a scene like at the end of Return of the Jedi with like a bunch of other Jedi? Like, are they going to be Jedi that Rey don't even know? Like,
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. Like, is Yoda going to be there? Or
Mace.
Here's the other thing: could Anakin Vader Force Ghost appear to Kylo Ren?
Right.
Is another possibility.
That is a real strong possibility.
Because so far, it feels like the Force Ghosts have to have some sort of personal connection. Like, we haven't seen, like, Force Ghosts, like, just hey, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. You don't really know me, but you may have heard of me from the Clone Wars, I don't know why I did my Troy McClure.
It was very good, though. I kind of want to see an Obi-Wan Troy McClure team up buddy cop movie.
But I don't see, like, is Samuel L. Jackson gonna just like suddenly show up as Mace Windu's Force Ghost? I doubt that kind of thing is gonna happen. But I mean,
I think it would be hilarious if like you just like got a glimpse of like all of them and they're like playing cards or doing dishes. Like they're all living in a house together.
Plo Koon is there.
Yes, it would be amazing. Yeah. I would love that.
Yeah, I can't say I'm opposed to it.
You won't get it because of the whole.
See, now it makes me like I'm imagining a reality show, Force Ghost House.
Yes. Oh. Everybody's blue.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I do want to see that. I didn't think I did, and now I do. You talked me into a reality show. I don't know how you did that.
I don't know.
It's like a Jedi mind trick. You will like this reality TV idea.
No, that show would be awful. It's so bad.
Maybe. It might be the best thing ever. Not going to know. We got to do this.
What I want is... And this would be like I said about Obi-Wan and Mace. This would be ham-fisted in, I think, too. But I'd love a Qui-Gon tie-in somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so much untapped story with Qui-Gon and Dooku. I think I'm just on that track right now.
Right.
I don't think it's necessary for Episode 9. Episode 9, I think, has so many other things it has to accomplish, so I don't expect any of this.
That would be a great, like, cartoon or, something like that.
Right. There's so many... Yeah, I mean, we're going to get the book with Master and Apprentice with...
Oh, that's right.
With Qui-Gon and with the younger Obi-Wan. So
I'm
looking forward to that.
Was coming out. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'll probably grab that on audiobook and check that one out. So... And I mean we got a lot of content because we get that there's the Padawan After Order 66 game is going to be coming out at some point. So I got to get that.
Shortest game ever. It starts with Master Skywalker.
Oh my god, and it's with that kid.
Roll credits.
That's like when people talk about a Daredevil game and it's just a blank screen.
Just you bumping into things. Ow. Ow. Ow.
Oh man.
Who talks about that? What kind of sicko would be like, it'd be great if you made a Daredevil game and just didn't put any graphics on the screen? Who said that to you?
I'm pretty
Was
sure
was it Brian?
If by Brian you mean Chris,
It could have been either one.
but he's not the
Brian's
first
not
person
as
to
mean.
say that. Yeah.
Chris would have been. You're right.
Chris
You're right.
Yeah, Chris has said that, but
I knew it.
I've also said it before, and other people have said it online before, and I'm sure you've been part of that group to say that before.
I mean, it definitely sounds like something I would say, but that's awful.
Yeah.
I like it. I'd buy that game. I'd pay full money for that.
I actually think a Daredevil game would be really cool, especially if you have to like figure out like the sonar aspects, like if you really have to like work hard for it, and you limited color palette and everything. Like I think that would be a fascinating game to do.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be tough.
It could be, yeah.
Like in the way that like Arkham Asylum is just a little too easy. Like that feels like that would have to be extra challenging,
Because Batman is a cheat code.
Right?
Batman is a cheat code.
Although, yeah, but I mean, I guess I hear the gameplay for the Spider-Man
Looks amazing.
Yeah, but it's also pretty easy to pick up, and
Oh, really?
and it's
Good.
easy to.
I might be into it then.
Yeah.
I might be into it. I like my games easy.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm on that mode of like, I'm gonna play it easy because I just want to see the.
I just want to play. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to feel bad when I turn it off.
Right.
I don't want to like.
I have other games that have that exercise that sort of masochistic, sort of like challenge to myself.
It's one of the fun things about nerddom is like we have so much going on right now that we can kind of like pick and choose our not only what we play but like how we play it and how we partake in the culture. Like there's so many games. It's easy, hard modes, and like WoW is a perfect example. Like you could be super casual about WoW now, and still see every aspect of the game.
Oh yeah.
Or you can be super hardcore and just never run out of stuff to do.
For sure. Oh, for sure.
And it's great. Like it's funny. You listen to people complain online. I happened to catch Taliesin's live, a little bit of it today.
Yeah.
I was getting my hair cut. I was watching it, and he was complaining because people think that he has like a beef with Preach from Preach Gaming.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. I completely agree with him. Like we may say it in different ways. He's like, but we have very similar ideas on what's going on. He's like, but you guys, like, these people on the internet will like take like his like the one sentence where he's questioning, like just posing the topic, posing the question, setting the table as you were for what he's going to talk about, and then they are like, oh, if you would ask that question, you obviously hate it,
right?
And he's like, no,
no. People are dynamic and can have complex opinions about things.
Not on the internet.
Apparently not.
Not on the internet.
Not in the tribal environment that is the world today.
Oh, Lord help us. Lord help us. Yeah, so I mean it's been a crazy week. There's a lot going on. We should I kind of want to watch Runaways.
Yeah, I need to. I
kind of want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of wrestling to catch up on. WrestleMania's coming up.
Yeah.
And I got to get to writing.
Well, it's funny you say that because like there's something I listened to and watched that made like sort of an interesting click for me recently. I want to say it was actually something someone said on the Let's Rewatch podcast.
Okay.
And it made sort of a certain click for me, and I was like, oh my god, that'd be a really cool story. I gotta write it. I need to stop just saying I'm gonna write these things
and actually do it.
Yeah, and that's a scary thing for me because like I'm a decent writer, but I've never written fiction.
Right.
I honestly think I am a good writer when it comes to nonfiction and essays, and I think I've even written essays outside of the normal, like outside of essays and just writing normal like articles. Like I can write in a way that's interesting for people to read, and they can get my sense of my personality. So like I do think I'm a good writer, but I need to exercise that muscle more.
Right.
And going into fiction would be a real challenge.
Right.
You know, like I've done story maps and stuff like that, you know, a little bit here and there, but like I think I really need to take a swing at it because I really like I actually thought of like, oh my god, like like I might have found a Superman story I might want to tell, which is such a weird thing for me, especially since I'm not a fan of that character.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's a weird thing because they already did Superman Dies.
Right? But so there's that.
Check out our Men of Steel podcast.
Right.
Available at certainpov.com.
No. I had some interesting thoughts about like what would I want, like how would I want to see a Superman story, because I think there is an appeal to that character. Like I'm not a fan of the character, but I don't quite hate the character either.
Yeah.
Then of course, like, you know, Green Lantern as well. Like and that's like, I mean, it almost feels like pissing in the wind to write a Green Lantern story at this point.
Yeah, but by the time you finish it, it might be an acceptable.
That's true. It might finally be
radioactive,
ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of want to try something.
You need to do
there.
it. I mean, this is something that
this is the time to do it.
This is the time to do it. I was thinking about this today. I was of just how important it is to just get into a habit of doing something.
Yeah.
And just, you know, I started to kind of reorganize my time and be a little more intentional with my time.
Yeah.
And then life just got crazy and I stopped doing it. I bought myself one of those Evo planners, which are based on your personality.
Your type,
my personality type like wants to gamify everything, like wants to have fun and get points and stuff like that. So like the planner was really good at doing that for me.
Yeah.
So I need to just start scheduling like time for writing in to my schedule. I mean, I have been doing some of it. The problem is like how many stories I have to come up with on a weekly basis is just it's a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm
so
I'm just having to like, okay, tap that well. So, but I find what's been helping me is when I'm in that mode of just like, okay, this is my time to do this. This is what's scheduled to happen right now, and everything else takes a backseat to that. That's the priority right now, and it's one of the reasons why I'm not playing as much WoW.
Yeah,
you know, I would love to play WoW, but it's just not the top priority. There's other things that we got to take care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do it, man.
But and I think it comes to the idea of like, okay,
I'll carry this podcast for a while if you want to take some Monday nights off.
No, that's all right. I need this.
Good.
And I fear what it would be with you by yourself.
Just poop stories,
right?
And then on Monday,
right?
Wait till I get to Thursday.
Oh no. But I guess my thought is, and we've had this conversation every now and then actually on this podcast, is sort of, you know, what are we contributing back?
Right.
Where like this show is very much about talking about what's already been put out into the world and our perspectives on it. And I think that there's value in that for sure.
But not as much as creating something. Yes
and no, but I think I think we should always think about what we are creating and putting out. And I do think there are perspectives that sometimes people don't think about when they watch certain stories.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's very easy to just like, oh, it's just entertainment value. And some things just are entertainment value and should just be entertainment value. But I think there are like certain things we can learn about ourselves and other people by listening to the stories that they tell. You know, it's why I don't get quite as worked up by the identity politics sometimes in certain things, but then sometimes I do when at different moments. Like I heard someone say something about privilege, but what was funny was their comment felt was the most privileged thing that they could have ever said, and I was like, I wanted to call it out, but I was like, nah, that's not. Yeah. You know, I was just yelling in the car about it. I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah. I have very little patience for it at this point.
I had a very it was very interesting with this particular podcast I was listening to.
That's hilarious.
And it was just like there were just a couple things that just popped up, and I was like, and I was just there were other like very nerdy criticisms, and I'm just like yelling in the car while I'm driving.
You suck! You're wrong!
Right?
Why are you so wrong? Who gave you a microphone? Meanwhile, somebody's in a car right now yelling at us.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, absolutely.
It's the best. Yeah, we got to do it. I heard a quote today. Brian Callen said he was quoting somebody else though. He said, I want to say it correctly. It's like, if you want to criticize, create something.
Right. That was sort of the perspective I was having recently.
Yeah.
That kind of, like, there was a moment of, like, a very brief moment of awakening. It was like, okay, like, it's good that we're talking about these different things. Like, I was telling you about, like, that one stupid clip of Into the Spider-Verse that I kept on rewatching.
Yes.
And it just kept on moving me to tears. And it's not the kind of thing that even makes, like, we've talked about Guardians moving me to tears.
Right.
Like, both movies have moments. And, like, they kind of make sense that they can.
Yeah.
You know, as stupid as that idea is, I think, that a movie, a big blockbuster tentpole movie is making me feel that. But there was something very, like, it was more of a tears of joy and, like, fulfillment and something, like, there was something really special about that moment.
Lifted
of, like,
something from you.
Yeah, because it was about expectations and finding meaning all at the same time. For Miles in that movie, it's the moment where, like, he takes the leap of faith, basically.
Right.
And the different voices they have, like, they have his dad, they have his mom, they have his uncle, which is very interesting, especially since his uncle is a villain.
Right.
They have Peter's voice, a clip from him there as he he makes the leap of faith, and like that moment where they you see him falling, but it's vertical instead.
Yeah.
Like that, like it's just so beautiful. Like the whole idea of a leap of faith and how crazy that idea is, and how your entire world is upside down, but you're on the right path, and everything is actually right and is in the right order in that way. It's such a beautiful moment. Like I want to get that I need to get that shot framed, basically.
You'd be crying all the time. You'll never get anything done.
Never get anything done.
You will just sit there and just bawl like a little girl at your desk. Might be good for you.
Maybe.
Might be cathartic. Just get it all out.
I need to get my Calvin and Hobbes picture back up somewhere in front of me all the time. That's somewhere in storage. It's the places you'll go, I forget which. No, it's not all the places you go. I think it's from Yukon Ho or something, like one of the exploration themed Calvin and Hobbes books, but the art isn't finished on it, so the idea is you've got to finish the work type of thing, and with your imagination and everything. That was always something that was sort of I liked having that in front of me. It always
that's
made
a good
me
one.
feel it always felt like it fed me a little bit whenever I felt a little bit locked up mentally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's one of those things I got to get back in front of me again.
Yeah, I need to get back in the gym. I think that's one of the things that helps me be more creative and feel more comfortable and more in tune.
Yeah.
Is when I'm hitting the gym and eating right. I haven't stopped eating right. I'm doing a really good job of continuing to eat well.
Yeah.
But I've definitely slacked off on the gym and yoga class and stuff. So
our birthday was last week.
It was crazy. Yeah. So I need to get back, and I skipped it this morning. And normally I do a Monday morning yoga class.
Yeah.
And this morning I was like, I'm not going.
Oh, I almost called out of work just to sleep in my car the whole day.
Instead of your desk.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I mean, I knew I had a ton to do today. And
yeah.
Today was Ringer's birthday.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm definitely going in so he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get back in the gym. I need to, when I'm feeling better physically, it's a little easier to do stuff for me.
Yeah.
I notice I sleep better, which kind of is the linchpin for everything in my life.
Yeah.
If I don't sleep well, forget about it. So this is what happened. Speaking of not sleeping well, so this happened. This also happened last week.
Okay.
I decided not to take any of my medical marijuana one night,
Yeah.
and I use it for a sleep aid. Like it helps me calm down and
Sure.
sleep at the end of the day. And I hadn't taken it, and I woke up at like 3:00 in the morning, just dead sure I heard Aiden screaming and crying, just like he used to when we were in trauma mode when we first got him.
Right.
And I jumped out of bed and went running downstairs and opened up his door, and he's just dead asleep. Just dead asleep. And I'm like, oh my God. And my heart is pounding. I'm sweating. I'm like, all right, and I could not go back to sleep for like 3 hours. I ended up playing WoW and leveling my warrior at like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. when I could finally, when my body finally calmed down.
Oh, wow.
And went back to sleep. I was like, all right, I'm not taking my medication again for a long time. Like one night, I was just totally triggered.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was so bad. So that's the other adulting thing going on in my life. It's crazy. Yeah. It's been crazy. Thank you, by the way, because this has been helping, actually, is turning me on to the Richard Rohr email thing.
Right? Those are so good.
So great. I sent it on to my father-in-law.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear what he thinks of this. Has been his first week with it.
Yeah.
But,
they're fantastic.
I've been enjoying it so much, man.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so nice to hear a perspective, like a lifelong perspective, not a snapshot perspective.
Yes.
Of what religion can be or should be. And it's been great. Like I think it was a day or two ago, he was talking about like the different stages that conservatives and liberals get stuck in of religion, and like how like the conservatives can be really organized and dogmatic, and the liberals can be like so free loving that it's absolutely useless.
Right.
And then you learn to go through both of those stages and come to like you're right, it doesn't mean anything, but this has a lot of meaning.
Right.
All at the same time.
Everything everything is sacred and then nothing is sacred.
Exactly. Everything is profane and sacred at the same time. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was just eating that up that day. Like I really needed that message that day.
Yeah, that email has been like such great mental food for me.
Yeah.
That if I leave it for a while, I'm not lost necessarily, but it's a nice like reminder of like, okay, this is a good there's this lighthouse. That's a good guiding post.
Yeah, I read it first thing in the morning. I wake up, it's the first thing I read, and it just sets my day off. It just gets my mind focused on you're like, okay, cool. This is who I'm trying to be.
It's such a good I don't there's so much I do value about my upbringing and the faith that was ingrained in me, but there's also so much that I don't like about it. Right. But what's nice is it has a very forgiving, view on all of that, while also being so open to everything else that's out there.
Right.
And like that, I think it makes me look at the entire world in a much more forgiving light. No matter what perspective someone comes from, no matter how much I think I might disagree with that person, that I feel like I'm more and more trying to shut my own thoughts up and just listen.
Yeah.
And it's become so like there's so much more peace in that. And there's so much more satisfaction in that for me. There's a lot there's plenty we both have plenty of stressors in our life right now, but I also I've never felt more at peace than I feel right now. And I think that is awesome. Yes, there's a lot of things I want to improve in my life. There's a lot of things I want to accomplish. It doesn't mean I just, want to, sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
But,
navel gaze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also makes me very at peace with where I am, that if everything was gone tomorrow, if I died in the next few moments, I also know there's satisfaction in what I have already done. And I think that is the goal, ultimately, is to make sure that's like for me, that I feel like that's the important place to be. That I don't feel like there are any sort of regrets, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how you get through life without regrets.
There are lessons to be learned, I think. But I think it's different when you make it a regret. Because I think it puts another burden on you that you don't need. Because I had burdened myself with that at different times.
I see that. And
it put an unnecessary pressure on it. Right. It was very interesting. Coming back into Spider-Verse, I noticed, I just kind of threw it on in the background yesterday while I was just doing some errands and stuff like that. And I noticed a couple times when I glanced, was like I had already noticed the number 42 in a couple places, like they have it right at the beginning, and the spider has 42 on it. You know, of course, it is like meaning of life, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right.
But I noticed a very interesting detail this time when I watched is when Miles first tries to like do the leap of faith before he even meets Peter. It's the moment where he runs up all the way to the top of the building.
And then walks back down.
walks like that and then goes back up. Then he like falls all over the place.
Yeah.
And he crashes and he breaks the goober, you know, the USB key. And there was an address sign that he crashed through, right?
Okay.
What's so cool is when he's lying there on the ground is there's a 4 and a 2 on either side of him in like complete disarray. I thought that was such a nice touch.
So
to that.
smart.
Like that search for meaning is what that movie is about. Like that search for purpose, that search for a mission, that search for like Great Expectations is something that comes up a lot in that movie too. Like just kind of in the background, like during one of the montages while he's at the school, like and the assignment he's given is about Great Expectations, and a lot of it is about the expectations of who he wants to be in his community, who he is as part of his family.
Who his community wants him to be.
Right. And when he even does the art with the graffiti with his uncle down down in the sewers or under the subway, like it says no expectations, you know, and it has his shadow on it. I just thought that there's so much like
there's a lot of deep meaning in those movies. Yeah. In that movie in particular. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. You know, I feel like we need to do something. Like like we need to get together regularly with some friends and stuff like that. Like that's one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about. Like with this culture the way it is now, with social media, like we have such a false sense of community.
Yes.
And we have such a false sense of what's going on in each other's lives.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the things that we're missing. I think that's one of the reasons why people are so lonely. I think it's one of the reasons why people are kind of so angry on the internet, because it's not meeting that social need. It's not meeting that cue. And you're talking about like, you know, the great I mean, just listening to you talk about that stuff, like I that's great. Like I need that. Like you're not going to put that on a Facebook post.
Right. Yeah, I know. There's no more pretentious bullshit that I could do.
And I've seen those posts.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're awful.
Every time. God damn it. Every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like there is value to. I mean, I don't think either one of us is really all that interested in going to a church or anything like that. Although there is one I do want to check out. But yeah, like I think like just having like that close friendship and camaraderie of group of friends is so important. Yeah. So important.
That nerd fellowship that I want to make. I want to make the Church of Nerds still.
The Church of Nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing. That sounds so cultish, dude.
It really does. That ends on a compound and the FBI is outside.
No, we like the heroes, not the villains. Don't kill us. Oh, God, this is like X-Men.
Well, these guys were former Seventh-day Adventists, apparently had ties to David Koresh.
It's only right that we burn them down.
That's a deep cut. That's a very, very deep cut.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. I got it, and I liked it.
You can Google that one.
Shout out to Hans.
Oh man.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So I just feel like I know we're planning on having dinner with Gene and J Mike in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going out with Jenny this Saturday. She got me tickets to the Improv.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm super excited about that. So it's just like doing little things like that with people right now is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
You know, my wife, it was our birthday last week, and so my wife was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I don't really need things.
Yeah.
Like I just want to. I want experiences. I want experiences with you and my friends and my family. And, you know, that's really what I want right now. I'm at that stage of life where I'm like, I probably don't have much time left. I'm 45. I should probably so my kids have something to remember me by. I mean, to be fair, my dad was dead by the time I was their age.
Yeah. Well, you got this podcast. They can document it and re-listen to it.
They're like,
lose all respect for you when they hear how you shit your pants. Well, if he can make it, I guess I can too.
Oh, I sat down with Aiden tonight. Speaking of shitting our pants, I sat down with Aiden tonight, and I was talking to him. I said, "Hey, buddy, like you're 11 now. Like, how cool would it be or is it something you'd be interested in if like we went to the comic book store and both like got a pull list of comic books that we both want?"
Oh yeah.
And he was like, I was like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna if it's not your thing, no big deal. Then he was like, oh, you know what we could do, Papa? We could when we stream Extra Life, like we could use those for giveaways for people who donate. I was like, you're a born businessman.
I know,
love
right?
This kid.
That's so awesome.
I'm so proud of you, son. It's totally charitable and the right thing to do. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll go get some comic books.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you're not that interested. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Well, let's pour more attention into you streaming rather than.
Right. Yeah. Let's get you actually streaming, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's super, super high on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, he's on electronics
hiatus.
Yes, he's in a timeout. All of his electronics are in timeout.
Sure.
So he's thinking about it constantly.
Oh, I bet.
Like I get asked like 3 times, when am I allowed to have my Kindle back? Every day. It's great. I'm glad he's learning an important lesson. It's an important lesson for me to learn too, I think, because he is a little bit, not a little bit, he's a lot of bit addicted to it, yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah. As I'm like scrolling through my phone every morning at the breakfast table, I'm like, this kid's addicted. Right, what's going on Twitter?
I know. I've been trying to make a point of also like keeping my phone away from me.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, so that I don't get stuck in that.
I deleted a lot of apps. I deleted a lot of social media apps just because I was like, I'm constantly. I need those likes. I got to get those likes. I got to get those shares. And who's following, who's talking. And I was just like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And that also led into the whole, like, I don't know most of these people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any relationship with these
people. I know,
people.
right? Well, it's funny. Like, I had a moment of like, I got a little excited when I saw someone follow me on Twitter, Christopher Sean, who is the voice of Kazuto Ziono from Resistance.
Nice.
Follow me. I was like, that's cool. I guess I said enough nice things about Resistance over the past year.
Earned that. You don't have to worry about like, oh God, I hope he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Right. Well, I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Joe Lodor from
Lore
Watch. Yeah, Lore Watch followed me the other day. And I was talking to Lore from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, community manager. Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of that chain where you guys talking about streaming and audio and all that
equipment and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool. So yeah, I'm glad to have those guys in my purview of nerdom.
But like speaking of that though, like I'm not searching. Like I've not been posting.
I'm not like, hey Mark Hamill, will you retweet?
Yeah, mean, maybe I need to be more proactive on that to promote the podcast and stuff like that where it is reasonable. But I don't know. It's just not in me. Maybe there are other people who have that instinct, and all more power to them to make that happen. But I there's certain things I can get better with for sure.
Yeah.
On social media, but I also like that. That's not like getting likes is not something that I think about, and that's not something I'm searching for in any way. I thought it was funny on Instagram. MMA France followed me, and I was just like, okay, that's sort of random. Why would I think it's because there are a number of friends I follow, personal friends who are all in the fitness industry. So there have been a lot of like random weird fitness followings that I've gotten here and there, and I'm just like, I'm really fat. You shouldn't be following me.
I'm hoping for customer.
Right? Yeah, no, that's probably more likely. MMA France, but you got me on this weird tangent thinking about it today, and I was like, the hell is MMA France like? Do they just like really talk it up, but then like surrender right before the fight?
Oh, that's not a fair cut. They don't
just smoke and eat croissants instead of having a fight.
Oh, come on. It's not fair. French are tough. I'm trying to, although I am trying to think in the UFC, are there any French fighters
that
I can think of?
I mean, even in terms of like fiction, like Batroc the Leaper is
Poltruck. This is about as good as you get.
And he was a big feature of Gwenpool for a reason.
So there's just not. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like ever since World War II, France has gotten a raw deal.
They've got a bad rep,
and it's so unearned.
It is.
It's so
really
They were so badass in World War II.
Yeah, and I mean Napoleon. You got to give him credit for being a world power. They were a legit colonial power. They were scary.
They went toe to toe with England.
Yeah,
at their height.
Yeah, they were scary motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean they're not much now, but. It's a season.
Yeah.
They're rebuilding. They're like the Redskins right now. They're
okay, come on, man. That
rebuilding
hurts.
since World War II.
Oh, man. I'm excited though because we got a couple more podcasts coming on the way. Yeah. I got some friends who are putting together a comic show real soon.
I'm really excited about this.
So that's going to be an interesting one, and then you and I we've already talked about it on this show. We're just kind of like figuring out how exactly we're going to do it and then when we're going to do it. But we got our cartoons and cereal podcast.
Can I make a confession?
What?
I ate an entire box of cereal today.
Dude, that's my dream.
It's for lunch.
That's like, yeah. No, I mean with the whole like with me on right now on the intermittent fasting, like I wouldn't feel as bad doing that for a big
a
meal at the end of the day.
Awful.
Well, so what kind of cereal was it though?
It was like a cornflakes but with granola mixed in with it.
Okay.
It was good. It was very sweet. It was really sweet.
Yeah. The sweeter ones are easier to,
Yeah, and I ate the devil out of that thing. About like 3/4 through.
Yeah.
I really started to regret it.
But you kept going.
I finished it anyway. I was like, I can't believe this.
I'll finish what you started.
Yeah, no, I'm not a quitter. I may be a lot of things, but I'm not a quitter, all right? So, yeah. And then, it wasn't long before I was in the bathroom just like, oh, yeah, this was a bad idea. I got cramps. So much milk.
Oh, man. I'm excited about our cereal podcast.
It's going to be great.
It will be. I've already been thinking about, like, okay, these are some of the movies / shows that we want to go with and what cereals we'll pair them with. But I'm sure we'll talk about that more later. We're going to wrap this episode up. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget you can join the conversation with us on Discord. Trust me, it is great there. And it's one of the communities that I feel like is a legit community where we do share a little bit to support each other a little bit more, especially us as podcasters. You can find that on our website, certainpov.com. Until next time, stay scruffy, my nerf herder.